The Sagas of the Master Traveler, Grandfather Appalachia. The autumn rains had settled deep into the hills of southern West Virginia by the year 1890. The creeks ran swollen and cold through the hollers, carrying dead leaves and broken branches, down toward rivers older than memory. Fog clung low among the ridges most evenings, swallowing the mountains whole before the last daylight had fully died. Some nights a man could stand atop a ridge and swear the world ended only a few yards beyond the trees. I walked those woods near every evening after my shift ended, down at the Blackwater mine, 3 miles from camp back home to my wife Clara and our 3 children by way of an old deer trail cut through the timber. By then my shoulders usually burned fierce from swinging iron all day underground, and my lungs rattled black from coal dust. But truth be told, I preferred the woods over the roads. The mountains had a way of quieting a man's thoughts if he let them. That particular evening, the rain had finally broken after near 4 days straight. Everything dripped, the trees, the moss, even the stones looked soaked clear through. I remember stopping near a patch of wild blackberry bramble, not far off the creek bed, thinking I might gather a few berries before frost claimed the season entirely. That was when I saw the fire. Not uncommon exactly. Mountain folk wandered the woods often enough after dark. Hunters, trappers, timbermen too drunk to find their way home. But something about this fire settled strange in my chest the moment I laid eyes upon it. The flames burned low and orange against the wet black woods, soft and steady as church candlelight. No smoke rose from them despite all the dampness. No sound neither save the quiet crackle of wood. I stood there watching longer than I rightly meant to. Then I saw the old man beside it. He sat calm upon a fallen log beneath a great old hemlock tree, while a kettle steamed among the coals nearby. His beard hung near halfway down his chest, silver white and tangled by the mountain wind, and his long gray hair had been tied loosely atop his head, with what looked to be an old carved cedar stick. He did not look surprised to see me. Truth be told, it almost felt like he'd been waiting. The old man glanced up from the fire and smiled softly beneath all that beard. "Come and sit, young man." His voice sounded old in a way I still ain't got words for. Not weak, not frail. Old the way them hills felt old. "The fire is warm and the tea is nearly finished. No sense wasting good company on the woods." I remember hesitating a moment. My daddy always warned me about strangers in the mountains. Said the old woods carried things better, left unbothered after dark. But there was something peaceful about the old man. So I stepped off the trail and joined him by the fire. The warmth hit me near instantly. Strangest thing I ever felt. My clothes had been damp clear through from the walk, yet setting beside them, flames felt near like sitting beside summertime itself. The old man poured tea from the kettle into a worn tin cup and handed it over, careful-like. I thanked him kindly and drank. Wild mint, cedar, something earthy I never quite placed. The old man watched the woods quietly a while, before finally speaking again. "Beautiful land." I nodded. "Yes, sir. Always been partial to these mountains myself." At this, the old man smiled faintly. "Mountains." He said the word almost sorrowfully. Then slowly, he leaned down and pressed one weathered hand against the moss-covered earth beside the fire. His fingers moved gently across the roots and stones like a man remembering an old friend. "Tell me, young man, do you know the story of this great land beneath your feet?" I chuckled softly. "No, sir. My meemaw and pawpaw had their own notions, I reckon. But truth be told, I ain't given it much thought beyond working and surviving in it." The old man nodded slowly. "Most men do not. The woods fell strangely quiet around us then. Even the insects seemed to hush. The old man stared into the fire a while longer before speaking again. Long before, man first walked upright. Before beasts ruled the earth. Before forests spread across the world. The earth was young and angry. The flames flickered softly across his face. In those first ages, the world had not yet settled into itself. The lands wandered restless across oceans of fire hidden beneath the skin of creation itself. Great continents drifted blind through steam and ash like titans searching for purpose in the dark. The old man's fingers curled slowly into the wet soil, and eventually, they collided. The fire popped sharp enough to make me jump. The old man smiled faintly. Not as men collide, not as armies collide. His eyes reflected orange in the flames. As worlds collide. The woods seemed darker somehow as he spoke. The very earth screamed beneath the violence of it. Seas folded upward into the heavens. Stone shattered. Fire poured from deep wounds in the young world. And from that violence, something rose. The old man's voice lowered almost to a whisper. A king among mountains! I remember shifting closer to the fire without realizing it. The old man stared out beyond the trees, toward the endless ridges hidden by fog. Grandfather Appalachia. The name settled heavy in the night air. Not merely a mountain, a ruler born from the breaking of worlds. His spine stretched farther than your eyes could dream. His peaks pierced the heavens themselves. Storms crowned him. Ice carved his brow. Rivers were born from his breath. The old man smiled softly, and for a time, he ruled the earth. The fire crackled low between us. I glanced unconsciously toward the mountains beyond the woods. They suddenly felt larger, somehow, older. The old man continued. Young mountains are proud things. They rise sharp and violent against the sky, believing themselves eternal. His weathered fingers brushed slowly across the stones beside the fire. And Grandfather Appalachia was proud indeed. He held the world together in those days. The lands themselves rested against his roots. Forests spread across his back. Creatures beyond imagining wandered beneath his shadow. The old man's eyes grew distant. But even kings cannot command time forever. A cold wind whispered softly through the trees. The earth wished to change. At first the old king resisted. The old man smiled sadly, for mountains, like men, often mistake strength for permanence. The fire dimmed slightly. Then one day, the world pulled apart. His hand slowly opened against the ground, and in the tearing of the earth itself, Grandfather Appalachia was broken. I frowned slightly. Broken? The old man nodded. The seas widened, the lands drifted apart, and the old king's bones were carried with them. One arm wandered east across the waters where men would one day call it Scotland. Another north beneath frozen skies. Another south into deserts of endless heat. His eyes drifted toward the dark hills. Yet here remained the oldest bones. The woods had become utterly silent now. No wind, no insects, only the fire. The old man pressed his hand more firmly against the earth. These mountains beneath your feet are not young mountains. Young mountains seek glory. They tower, they conquer the horizon, they challenge the heavens themselves. A faint smile crossed his weathered face, but old mountains learned something greater. I found myself asking quietly, "What's that?" The old man looked toward the endless ridges hidden beyond the fog. how to carry life gently upon their backs. That line settled deep inside me. The old man continued softly. For millions upon millions of years, the rains humbled him. The rivers humbled him. The winters humbled him. Stone by stone, the world wore down the mighty king, until the mountains that once pierced the heavens became gentle enough for forests to sleep upon their shoulders. The firelight danced softly in his eyes, and because he endured, life flourished. The old man gestured toward the woods around us. These forests, these creeks, these hollers, your home, your children. His hand rested gently against the earth once more. All of it carried now upon the old king's back. I remember sitting there speechless, because suddenly I understood. The mountains were not weak because they had become smaller. They had simply survived long enough to become something else. The old man reached slowly toward the kettle and poured more tea. Men often pity old mountains. He chuckled softly. But old mountains have learned peace in ways young mountains never could. The steam drifted upward between us. Young mountains still rage against the sky. But Appalachia, his voice softened almost lovingly. Appalachia remembers. I swallowed hard. Remembers what? The old man stared into the flames a very long time before answering. Everything. The word barely rose above a whisper. The old forests now buried beneath your feet. The beasts that vanished before mankind ever dreamed its first fire. The tribes who walked these ridges before kingdoms rose across oceans. The wars, the winters, the prayers whispered by frightened men beneath stormlight. His eyes reflected softly in the flames. The mountains remember all of it. I looked down at the black coal dust still ground deep into my hands. The old man noticed. You dig within the old king now. I nodded slowly. Coal mine down near Blackwater Creek. The traveler smiled faintly. You carve fire from forests older than memory itself. I blinked. What? The coal your people burn was once life. He lifted a small black stone beside the fire. Ancient forests, from a world so old your mind struggles to grasp it. Great swamps beneath skies untouched by birdsong. Trees larger than towers. His thumb brushed black dust from the stone. Even now the old king carries those forgotten forests within his bones. I stared silently at the coal in his hand. All my life I'd worked the mines. Never once had I thought about where coal truly came from. The old man leaned back slowly. That is the way of men. You inherit ancient things without knowing their stories. The woods remained impossibly still around us. Then quietly I asked, how old are these mountains truly? The old man smiled faintly. Young man, when these mountains first rose, the world itself was barely recognizable. No birds sang, no deer wandered these woods. No man had yet dreamed his first language. And still, he looked out toward the hills again. They remain, not mighty now, not towering, but enduring. That word lingered with me. Enduring. The old man watched the fire softly. You miners understand mountains better than most folk do. I laughed quietly. How's that? Because every day you descend into darkness, carrying the weight of stone above your heads. His eyes drifted toward me. And still you return home. I thought of Clara then, of my children asleep in our little cabin, of the cough growing worse in my chest each winter. The old man studied me carefully. Life humbles men much the same way time humbles mountains. The fire crackled softly, but that does not diminish them. I stared into the flames. Sometimes it feels like it does. The old man smiled sadly. That is because your kind worships strength incorrectly. I frowned slightly. What do you mean? You believe strength means towering forever above the world, one untouched by suffering. He shook his head gently. But the old king teaches otherwise. The traveler's hand pressed once more against the earth. True greatness is not found in remaining unchanged. It is found in enduring change without surrendering what matters most. The woods seemed to breathe around us. The old man's voice softened further. Grandfather Appalachia lost his height, his empire, his dominion over the horizon. Yet still, he smiled toward the mountains. He shelters life. That line near broke something open inside me. Because for the first time in years, I suddenly understood my own father. The mines had bent his spine, the winters had hollowed his lungs, life had worn him down slow as rain upon stone. And yet, he'd carried us all the same. The old man must have seen the realization in my face. He nodded gently. Old mountains and old men often share the same wisdom. The fire burned lower now. Orange embers glowed softly beneath black wood. I finally asked him, "How do you know all this?" The old man smiled strangely at that. I have walked this world a very long time. There was something in the way he said it that made the hairs rise along my arms. Not boastful, not mysterious for the sake of mystery. Just true. The old man looked toward the dark ridges one final time. I remember Appalachia when he still touched the heavens. That line settled into the woods like distant thunder, and suddenly, for the first time that night, I truly wondered who sat beside me. Not merely an old mountain wanderer, something older, something that spoke of mountains the way men speak of forgotten friends. The fire crackled softly. I found myself asking, "What's your name, sir?" The old man smiled beneath all that silver beard. "I have worn many names in many lands." His eyes reflected ancient firelight, but among old roads and quiet mountains, some have called me the Master Traveler. The moment he spoke the name, the wind moved suddenly through the trees. The hemlocks whispered overhead. And somewhere far beyond the woods, the mountains seemed almost to sigh. The old man rose slowly from the fallen log then. For a moment he stood with one hand resting against the old hemlock beside him, small beneath the endless hills, and yet somehow older than all of it. "Your wife waits for you, young man." I blinked in surprise. "How'd you?" "No mountain man gathers blackberries at dusk unless children wait at home." He smiled warmly. "Go home. There are few treasures greater than warm fires and sleeping children beneath old mountains." I rose slowly myself. The woods suddenly felt different now. Larger somehow, ancient. I tipped my hat respectfully. "Thank you kindly for the tea." The old man inclined his head. "And thank you for the company." I turned and started back toward the trail. After several steps, I glanced behind me. The fire still glowed softly through the fog. The old man stood beside it, watching the mountains beyond the woods. Then the mist drifted between us. And somehow, when it cleared again, The fire was gone. No smoke, no embers, no old man, only dark woods beneath ancient hills. I stood there a long while listening to the creek, then slowly continued home. That night, after Clara and the children had fallen asleep, I stepped outside our little cabin and looked upon the mountains different than I ever had before. The moonlight rolled silver across endless ridges fading into the horizon. Old mountains, older than nations, older than memory, older than man himself, and for the first time in my life, I no longer saw hills. I saw the weathered bones of an ancient king who had once held the world together, and who now carried life gently upon his back through the bones of the world. And thus, beneath the endless bones of Grandfather Appalachia, another tale of the master traveler comes to its end. The embers dim, the night deepens, and somewhere beyond the last lantern light, the old wanderer continues down forgotten roads. If you walk beside us a while tonight, leave a like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. And until the fire is lit again, travel well.